Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. Well, in this video, we are going to see if there's a connection between a couple of very innocent seeming news items that have come out this week, and they involve canines. If you follow the letter that can't be named, you know that there is talk of dogs in it, and that those people who work to try to decipher coded information frequently come across what are called dog comms, and then there's speculation, and usually those are kind of a difficult one to get to a final consensus of what the message might be. So here's what we're going to do. Yesterday, I saw a mainstream news article, and there was actually, even though it was mainstream, there was speculation in the alt media community that it was what they call a dog comm. And then today, there's definitely one. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So yesterday, Fox News had a story that the world's oldest dog dies after living a long life in the lap of luxury. And then, as anons do, people looked at the length of the article, the time it was posted, to see if there were connections with that, with the letter that can't be named. Now today, Dan Scavino on Twitter had this video out, and it's 20 seconds long, and it's cute, but Dan Scavino is not known to do feel-good videos. And this is a common one that's on the internet, so it's not like his own personal pool. But why today did he need to put this up? Now, here's a couple things to notice. The 20-second clip with these dogs looking at the tennis ball is underwater, and typically tennis balls float. So I wondered if there was relevance that he wants us to notice with the submerged water. Now, watch the water is very common also with the group, the team that can't be named, a phrase that's common to us. And certainly, since there's almost 2/3 of the earth is covered in water, that's a lot of area to be looking at. Also interesting to note that today, the day I made this video, I heard that there were some naval conflicts going on in the waters near Iran that involved the US Navy. So I want to do this because you can click on the tweets, and if you look at the first and second comment on that share screen, if you choose to go to it, and the link will be in the video description box, there's a lot of discussion about what could these meanings be, especially in the Dan Scavino one. Okay, you can take a look and see. Now, speculation was everything from, the watch the water was the easy one. And then the fact that with being underwater, the ball tends to be difficult to pinpoint the location. I don't know if it's a submarine comm, what's going on. I also want to know, is there a connection with yesterday's? Because that was talking about a very dog that had lived in the lap of luxury, the oldest dog, I don't know if it was in the world or in America, that had passed away. And I wondered if there was a comment about that. That was about a passing of someone who might consider themselves elite and was very old aged. So I want to ask, is there a connection between yesterday's notice about the pampered pooch that passed away at a ripe old age after living in a lap of luxury, and today's pretty obvious comm coming from Dan Scavino, the 20-second clip he shows with these two pups? Is there a connection? And if so, will the universe let us know what that connection might be? Okay, I'm just on a fishing trip here. You can go with me and we'll see if we come up with anything. I'm going to switch the camera and let you watch me deal the cards, and we'll find out together if the universe has some information about us. Again, we're asking, is there a connection between yesterday's pampered pooch story, today's Dan Scavino clip? And if so, can there be some information or insights to be had about what that connection might be? Okay, this will be a Kachina knife spread, possibly with a couple of other cards if we get some interesting insights going on. And we're just asking, is there a connection possibly between yesterday's news blurb about the pampered pooch, today's clip posted by Dan Scavino, and then insights or information about what the connection might be, if so? Watch, we'll get a big no, and this will be one of my shortest videos ever. Okay. Oh, our first card is the Tower. Then the Nine of Wands. Death. Okay, there's interesting cards showing up here, guys. The Emperor, more interesting cards. 3 out of 4 so far are major arcanas. Then we have the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Hermit. Okay, we have 4 out of 7 cards are major arcanas. Okay, now while we don't have an ace showing up at this point, that would be an indication of a very solid hard yes. I think just the fact that there are so many major arcana showing up tells us that there's definitely this column is about something big going on and going down. I'm going to deal with the glare a little bit. The cards won't move in any way, shape, or form. And then I'll come back. We'll talk about the insights I'm getting. And we'll look at the elements of the cards that make me say what I think I'm getting. Okay, here's what I'm getting so far. Yesterday's post by Fox News about that pooch that was long-lived was about a significant passing, and not of a pooch. It was a communication that was letting us know that someone passed away, even though the public acknowledgement is not being made at this time. You know, think of some of the notables: Klaus Schwab, George Soros, you know, someone older that considers himself to be pretty special. Yesterday was their ending on this plane of existence. That's what that was noting about. Now that has caused some ripples throughout the world we live in. Okay, so let's look at the present here. We have the situation being typified by the Tower card, which is kind of a pivotal, big moment that changes the course of events. So this passing has kind of been a catalyst for this, the Tower moment. Now look, the clarifier for the Tower is the Nine of Wands. That's my bring a lunch card. That's a determination card. He's been battling. The battle's almost done, but he's determined to see it through. And it's kind of like pack a lunch if you need to. I'm not going anywhere. So that's kind of nice that whatever's going on here, that this ripple, that the passing of the this person or personage has caused, hasn't hurt the resolve at all in the present. For even though it was a big event, it hasn't hurt the resolve at all, the determination to see things through. And front and center, we have the Emperor card, definitely a white hat card, often my Mr. T card. But think about the White Hearts, the Alliance, that this involves matters of, again, multinational interests, and the very hard job that's going on to free this plane of existence from some evil control and get us set up to enjoy a much different future. Let's look at the near future. Okay, we have a couple of fives showing up here. Fives indicate not long-term situations. So what long-term situation can we look for here? In some readings, this can actually be a fun and games. They're supposed to be having some games here and fun, but Usually in the context of political reads like I do, this again involves some strife, but again, just a reassurance that nothing's fatal going on here, and it's not going to last for long. The Five of Pentacles, always an interesting card because it talks about people that are willing to put up with some short-term discomfort rather than aligning themselves and taking advantage of handouts that with strings attached. And this sure does typify a lot of those that are awake. It hasn't been easy. We've walked a different path, and we've willingly put up with some hardships and losses in relationships, and sometimes because of our beliefs or stances on things, even how we make our livelihood. So the situation moving forward, what I'm getting, that submerged tennis ball was significant on the watch the water. That was, I think, with the conflicts that are in process, while I don't see them coming to a major reality ending kind of conflict situation, I think there's something going on with our naval submarines. So I think, yeah, watch the water, but again, watch under the water, because that submerged tennis ball was really, I think, the big focal point on that. So both sides are watching, and I don't know, we'll see what happens, but I think it involves the submarine. The Hermit, our second insight card here, kind of nice. He's shining a light again on this determination to put up with some hardships if needed, to walk a path that feels right for you. And that's good to know that we have that kind of support coming from, however your lens views this, off-world, divine, future self, benevolent. This is always a good energy card that's way beyond the earthly planes as far as wisdom and being able to shine a light on things. So yeah, the Hermit's shining a light on this situation. All right, let's get two more cards and see what we get. Got the King of Cups showing up, paired up with the Six of Cups. Okay. We got some water showing up with the King. He's Mr. Tricky, okay? Good poker player. He's not going to give his hand away, all right? He, again, what I'm seeing is whatever this Tower moment is, this isn't necessarily one that's going to be available to be reported and known by us. Maybe if we're watching for little comms and communications, or little news blurbs, and we can put some facts together, that might help with that. Reassuring card here with the Six of Cups, which is a card of, again, some just brotherly love, sibling love, care for innocent life. And often if it's talking about a reunion or reconciliation, the reunion aspect of it may not be long-standing. Okay, so kind of take advantage of it as you can. I'm still curious. I'm going to get two more cards. Okay, whatever's going on, we don't have much to worry about, even though we got the Tower card showing up here. And you notice it was showing up a lot last couple of weeks down here in the future. Now it's moved up to the present. Whatever this is, it's not anything we need to be too worried about. And another good reassuring card, we've got the Strength card coming up. So another major arcana showing up here with the Strength card. And that's always about balance into infinity, and just a real good energy card for love and just what it says, strength. Okay, so let's recap. We looked at a news item from yesterday about a pampered pooch that passed away. Then we looked at today's post by Dan Scavino on Twitter, a clip that's been around the internet for a while. So it was telling that he took a 20-second, made sure the clip was 20 seconds long, and it shows two gorgeous pooches watching the water and a submerged tennis ball. So my question was there a connection between those two items, since they're both dog and related? And if so, could we get some insights and information about what that might be? Now, first of all, my recent past card was the Death card. While normally I remind people that it's not necessarily talking about an actual physical death, that it's more about a long, slow change, a transformation that's kind of ready to be enacted. In this case, because yesterday's was about that pooch passing, I am taking it to say that there was someone left the earthly plane that had a lot of clout, I don't have a name for you, okay? But that has kind of been a catalyst for what's going on today. The present card was the Tower card. So we know that there's been a lot of effort by the deep state and mainstream to garner support for a worldwide conflict. I don't see that that's going to be successful, but there are some skirmishes and there are people that are being harmed and in harm's way. So we need to keep those people in our thoughts and prayers, whether they're in uniform or not. Okay, whether they're civilians that are in an area of conflict, or again, someone trying to serve their country and following orders and trying to keep their oaths of office, because even the least influential person takes that oath when you go into the service. Okay, Tower moment happening. Now, Tower moment is kind of offset by this card, Nine of Wands. Again, this is a card of determination. So whatever this Tower moment is, they are determined to see it through, and it's close to being completed. Whatever the campaign or issue going on is, nines are at the very ending, getting close to the ending of something. Really reassuring cards showed up throughout, besides the fact that there were a large number of major arcanas. The Emperor card showed up for our present situation. So the Emperor's on it. That's definitely a white hat, white heart, Alliance energy card, often my Mr. T card, but again, think of it in terms of those we choose to have good leadership and move us into a better plane of existence. Okay, because I've often said Mr. T is just a means to that end. He is the face of that at the moment, but he's not the sum of the efforts. Hope that makes sense to you. Now, looking at the near future, the whatever's going on, it may involve some people making some hard choices that won't have to last for very long. But again, we've had within the Anon community and truth seekers, we've been paying prices for trying to find truth and trying to discern fact from fiction. And a nod to that with this card here, and just an acknowledgement that whatever is going on that was indicated by that Dan Scabino post, it's not going to be long lasting in nature, okay? But it's going to be, there's going to be some challenge to it. Now, again, right beside it, telling us more, our strongest insight card was the Five of Wands, which usually for me talks about, again, a not very long-term item, but some strife that's going to be short-term, reassuring us. On the other side of things, we had a major arcana, the Hermit, shining a light on those with the Five of Pentacles, those people that are in harm's way, making difficult choices, maybe sacrificing or giving things up to see a mission through or to reach an objective. There is some wonderful energy watching out for them. Then we just got a few more cards because I thought it was an interesting topic. Okay. And these 2 by 2 tend to kind of work together. So the King of Cups, got some water showing up here, okay? King of Cups can be tricky. He's a good poker player. He doesn't, very much in charge of his emotions. So when a difficult decision has to be made, actually, as long as it's one that he sees as the right course of action, he doesn't hesitate to do it at all. But with that hesitation, we have a reassurance, with that lack of hesitation, we have a reassurance that innocent life is going to be prioritized as always, with any actions that are going on. And I did get the feeling, and I can't point to anything in the tarot cards that point to this intuitive nudge, other than that several cards had some elements of water in them. I did get the feeling that the submerged tennis ball, because tennis balls float, was significant in that clip, and that possibly might be pointing to the fact that some of what we're watching the water for is actually happening under water with our submersibles and submarines. So let's pray our Navy stay safe and make good choices. Okay, the last two cards reassuring us that there's not as much to worry about as we think we do. There is, with this tower moment and things that are happening in the background that may not be fully reported on yet to us. And again, that there's a lot of love and strength and benign oversight going on for this and all situations that are underway in the effort to have our world become more aligned with what was originally intended. And let's just shout out a big thank you to anyone who is working in the light, working for the Alliance in some form or fashion to bring about positive, loving, kind change in our world, the world we live in. And that world is can't get here soon enough for me. And it's going to have a lot less government and just a reasonable amount of representation that is truly and honestly voted for and selected by the constituents. That's a biggie right there. But again, a beautiful world. And there's people that are putting a lot of effort into making that happen. So a big thank you to them. Okay, so Mr. Scavino he didn't need to put that up to get information or comms out to troops. That was for us. That was for the general public to know. Okay, that there's a couple of points of view focused on some water conflict possibly, and a tower moment is involved. A tower moment, so kind of a pivotal event. So let's just hope that anybody in harm's way makes it out of there without harm, and keep those comms coming. We may not decode them accurately, but they are kind of interesting to attempt to, and I do think we get some insights and a lot more accuracy from those coded communications and the decodes of them than unfortunately we're allowed to have via traditional news sources. That's it for this video. Until next time, I wish you love and light and everything bright. Bye.